Okay, real quick video. This was a request from some fifth graders about multiplying and dividing wonderful old fractions, everybody's favorite. Good news is, though, this is pretty easy. Way easier than doing adding and subtracting where you got to get common denominators. So, multiplication first. How do we do it? Any fractions that you're given. Let's try 4/5 times 2/3. Multiplying fractions, not bad, because you don't have to worry about common denominators. You actually just multiply straight across. You don't have to worry about the 5 and the 3 and making 15, because you're going to do that anyways. In adding and subtracting, you would always have to start with your common denominators first. Well, multiplying is a whole lot easier than that because we don't have to even worry about that because it's just going to happen anyways. So 4 times 2 is 8, and 5 times 3 is 15. And we have to ask ourselves, is that simplified? Is that a reduced fraction? Well, the way to check that is to know your factors of 8. 1 times 8, 2 times 4, and my factors of 15, 1 times 15, 3 times 5. You can list out your factors like this if you don't know your multiplication facts, but it's so much easier if you know your facts, because I know for a fact that there is nothing that multiplies to make 8 and 15 except for 1. So if there only is 1 shared, you know that is a reduced fraction. So my answer to this problem is 8/15. Let's try another one. Let's try 6/8 times 2/5. So same thing as before, we multiply from the left to the right. And when we multiply left to right, we're going to get 12 over 40. Now, knowing that there is definitely going to be something here that reduces or simplifies 12/40ths, try to think about the biggest number possible. I know 2 will work because I know they're both even. 12's even, 40's even. But if you can find a bigger one, that's even better. I'm going to go with 4. Because if you can get a bigger number to divide in your numerator and denominator, you'll actually end up doing less steps. So 12 times, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 times 10 is 40. And once again, I got my prime 3. There's only 1 and 3 factors, and 10 only has 1, 5, 2, and 1, 10, 2, 5. So there's nothing inside these except for 1. When you get to the 2 where there's only 1 in both, where the only thing that possible is dividing by 1, you know that is a simplified fraction. So this is definitely a simplified fraction. We'll try one more. And I'll do this one for the smarty pantses out there. Let's try 2 2/3 times 4/5. So in order to do this, we have to convert our mixed number first into an improper fraction. Okay, so my strategy for this is something I call do the Texas on it, because we live in Texas here. If you're watching this video, we live in Texas. So if you don't live in Texas, sorry. But order of operations tells us to multiply first. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus my 2 is 8. Denominator stays the same. Times my 4/5. And then we just use our same strategy as before with multiplying left to right. Okay, and that's going to give me 32. And my denominator is 15. So that gave us a problem because we have an improper fraction now. So not a big deal. We do our top number. Okay, top number, put it in our division box, top in the box. I always tell my kids, top in the box, top in the box, top in the box. 15 goes into 32 2 times, which gives me 30. 2 left over. And that's our remainder of 2, but since we're doing fractions, I touch 2 and I look at 5. I call that my fish hook. Okay, that's my fish hook. I touch 2 and then I look at 15, so that gives me the fraction 2 fifteenths. So my answer to that would be 2 and 2 fifteenths. And once again, that's simplified. I can't change 2 over to 15, so good to go. So division now. Okay, division. Division is very similar to the multiplication. There's just one new step. Let's try 4/7 divided by 1/7. Now the answer to this should be pretty obvious because the question is how many 1/7 will go into 4/7? Well, the answer should be 4. Okay? So let's do the actual operation to see if I'm right here. To divide fractions, we have to know something called a reciprocal. Reciprocal. Okay? A reciprocal basically means any fraction that you're given, you're going to find the opposite of it by flipping the numerator and the denominator. So 3/5, the reciprocal would be 5/3. 1/3. Okay, you flip the numerator and denominator. 1/3, the reciprocal would be 3/1. And let me explain why you're doing that. We don't actually divide fractions, we multiply them. Okay? But in order to make this a multiplication problem, we have to take the opposite of that 1/7 right there. So in order to get the opposite of 1/7, we take the reciprocal of it. So let me show you. So we take our reciprocal, we flip our numerator and denominator, that gives me 7/1. And since we've taken the opposite of 1/7 and made it 7/1, we now have the opposite operation here. So we've made our division problem into a new multiplication problem, and it looks like this. And then we follow our same strategies from before. We multiply from left to right. 4 times 7 is 28. Whoa, what did I just do? That was weird. So 7 times 4 is 28. There we go. And 7 times 1 is 7. So to fix that, top in the box. Okay, 28 divided by 7, and my answer is 4. Okay, there is no remainder here, so I don't have any fractions left over, and we're right. It was 4. Okay, now that was a baby one because I just wanted to show you that it does actually work. So let me show you a real one. How about 9/10 divided by, let's do 2/5. So our question is how many 2/5 will fit into 9/10? So same thing as before. We take our reciprocal, we flip this, and we get 5/2. So this is gone now. And we do our opposite operation because we just did our opposite of 2/5. So my new math problem is 9/10 times 5/2. 9 times 5 is 45. 10 times 2 is 20. And we need to fix our answer. So same thing, top in the box. 45 divided by 20. All right, and 20 goes into 45. 2 times 20 is 40. 5 left over. Fish hook it like before. So my answer is 2 and 5 over 20. But because star or whatever test you're taking always usually has everything reduced, we need to reduce our 5/20ths. So let's do that real quick. So we have our 2 and 5/20ths. I know this is easy because it's multiples of 5, so I can divide these by 5. So my real answer is 2 wholes. 5 goes into 5 one time, 5 goes into 20 4 times, and there's my completed answer. So just remember to recap that when you're multiplying decimals, sorry, not decimals, when you're multiplying fractions, multiply from left to right, okay, and then simplify your answer. When you're doing divisions, it's the same exact thing, except you have to find the reciprocal, okay? So I hope this helps. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.